listen closely. If you run any kind of business, I mean, like service, retail, consulting, whatever, I really want you to imagine a very specific, terrifying scenario.
Oh, it is the ultimate modern nightmare.
Right. You wake up tomorrow morning, you grab your phone off the nightstand, pour a cup of coffee, and you check your dashboard,
Yeah.
only to realize that your entire revenue stream has just been, well, vaporized, gone.
And the most chilling part of this is that it doesn't happen because you provided a bad service.
Not at all. It's not a product failure. Your clients didn't just decide to abandon you.
No, it happens because overnight, some Silicon Valley tech monopoly decided to update a back-end algorithm.
Yep. Suddenly, your business is shadow banned.
Yeah.
You are completely invisible to the audience you spent years, actively cultivating.
Which is the devastating reality of building your business on rented land.
Yeah, exactly. And that brings us to the specific high-stakes ecosystem we are looking at today. You shared this really fascinating strategy and pitch document with us.
Yeah, it details a massive disruption in the international outdoor and hunting booking industry.
Right. We are looking at the launch of something called Hunt Network Live.
Yeah.
So our mission for this deep dive is to really unpack this platform because the documents describe it as a, quote, global hunting operating system.
Which sounds like a lot of marketing jargon, I know.
Yeah, a bit heavy on the buzzwords. But looking past that, what we are really analyzing here is a hyper-aggressive land grab for the future of the outdoor industry.
Oh, absolutely. They're trying to lure outfitters away from stagnant brochures and unpredictable social media.
Yeah, and build a totally 365-day digital ecosystem.
Yeah.
But to understand how they plan to pull off this digital land grab, we have to look at the absolute paralysis of the current industry.
The dysfunction is honestly staggering.
It really is.
If we look at how this industry has operated for decades, it revolves almost entirely around the physical seasonal expo model.
Right.
So you have outfitters who manage lodges in New Zealand, South Africa, or, the remote Yukon, and they're flying all the way to convention centers in Texas or Nevada.
And they're paying upwards of $10,000 just for the floor space.
Just for the space.
Plus the flights, the hotels, all those massive printed banners, stacks of glossy brochures.
It's so expensive.
They basically staff a drafty 10 by 10 booth for 3 exhausting days, just crossing their fingers that a high net worth individual with the exact right dates available happens to wander down aisle 4.
Yeah, it is the definition of high friction and low efficiency.
And then consider the alternative. When they aren't spending a fortune at these physical expos, they are relying on platforms like Facebook or Instagram.
But hunting and firearms-related content sits in this constant gray area on those platforms.
Yeah, exactly. An outfitter can be flagged without warning.
Yeah.
Or miscategorized by an automated system.
And boom, they instantly lose their primary marketing channel.
It's like trying to run a modern, high-stakes international logistics company using only a fax machine and, a yearly town fair.
Wow. Yeah, that's a perfect way to put it.
You are totally vulnerable. But, okay, I do have to push back on the premise here just a bit.
Okay, go for it.
If we are talking about an industry where you literally fly across the world to walk into the wilderness with a guide,
Right.
hasn't that always run on a physical handshake? I mean, a handshake in this context isn't just a business deal. It's a measure of trust for your physical safety.
That's very true.
So why would an outfitter, or a hunter for that matter, suddenly trust a digital platform over that face-to-face interaction?
Well, that is the core friction of this whole transition. A handshake builds unparalleled trust, sure, but it simply does not scale globally.
Right.
A physical handshake limits your entire addressable market to whoever you can physically meet during a 3-day window in, one specific geographic location.
So the old model inherently caps their growth.
Exactly. To scale globally, they need a completely new infrastructure. And that is what Hunt Network Live is attempting to build.
So they want to solve the algorithm problem and the scale problem at the same time.
Yes, by fundamentally shifting who owns the data. Which brings us to the whole Booking.com comparison. It's like the Booking.com of the hunting industry, but with a concierge soul.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Because the pitch document takes a direct swing at traditional tech monopolies.
It really does.
Usually, a tech platform's entire business model relies on trapping leads, right?
Right.
They want to own the data, build a walled garden, and force you to keep paying tolls to access your own audience.
Right. If you stop buying ads, they just turn off the faucet.
Exactly. But Hunt Network Live is pitching the exact inverse. They are leaning into this idea of data sovereignty to aggressively capture market share,
Yes, instead of hiding the contact information of the buyer, the platform actually allows the outfitters to acquire the real data of the leads generated.
which means they can export those contacts directly into their own CRM systems.
You aren't just renting a lead, you're owning a relationship.
Wait, but they are building a centralized platform in order to decentralize power. How does giving away the underlying data possibly benefit the platform?
Right, it sounds counterintuitive.
Yeah. I mean, if an outfitter connects with a client, gets their email, and takes the transaction entirely offline, doesn't Hunt Network just become like a free dating app that gets immediately discarded?
What's fascinating here is that that would only be the case if they were exclusively offering visibility. But they aren't. They are weaponizing convenience.
Weaponizing convenience. I like that.
By freely giving away the data, they position themselves not as a toll booth, but as indispensable infrastructure. They are targeting the outfitter's most precious resource, which isn't just leads, it's time.
Because right now, based on the documents, these business owners are bleeding hours dealing with tire kickers.
Oh, constantly. People who just want to chat about hunting but have no real intention of booking.
Or they're losing deals to endless multi-day email chains, just trying to figure out if a specific week in October is available.
Right, and consider how international business actually operates today. It isn't happening over formal email chains.
No, definitely not.
The true heartbeat of global communication is WhatsApp, and Hunt Network recognized this. The platform integrates directly with WhatsApp.
And it ties directly into Google Calendar, too,
Right,
to show up-to-the-minute availability.
exactly. Plus, it handles the friction of automated deposit collection.
So they are building the digital plumbing. They don't need to trap the data because the daily utility of the operating system is simply too valuable to abandon.
Precisely. You wouldn't rip out the plumbing in your house just because you know how to carry a bucket of water from the well.
That's a great analogy. So they transition from renting a lead on social media to owning a relationship through this unified dashboard.
Right.
Okay, so the back-end plumbing for the outfitter makes total strategic sense. But having a slick CRM integration means absolutely nothing if a hunter won't actually click that Book Now button.
Because the barrier to entry is massive.
We really need to talk about the psychology of the buyer here. We are asking someone to wire, say, $15,000 to a bank account halfway across the world.
For a trip involving navigating international borders, securing specialized permits,
Transporting high-powered firearms.
and facing unpredictable wildlife.
Right. That is an inherently terrifying proposition. Visibility alone does not overcome that fear.
Which is why the platform's core philosophy is that high-value bookings are built on trust long before they are built on price.
Trust is the actual currency of this ecosystem.
Exactly. A hunter isn't just purchasing a week in the woods. They are buying the confidence that the outfitter is legally compliant.
That the lodge shown in the photos actually exists.
Yes, and that they aren't wiring their life savings into a black hole.
So here's where it gets really interesting. The sources outline a solution to this psychological barrier called the Verified Trust Network.
Yep.
And I have to be completely honest, I read that phrase and immediately rolled my eyes.
I don't blame you.
I mean, anyone can put a shiny logo on a website. How does a digital badge actually prevent a scam?
Well, if it were merely a visual aesthetic, it would fail instantly. This demographic is highly skeptical.
Super skeptical.
What sets this operating system apart is that they digitize the due diligence. The platform actively does the homework.
What does that homework actually look like practically?
It's rigorous. Before an outfitter can even be listed on the network, the platform's team actively checks their local outfitting licenses and permits.
Just to ensure they're legally operating in their jurisdiction.
Right. They verify the operational history of the business. They cross-reference past client reviews.
So they remove the psychological barrier before the hunter even sees the price tag.
Exactly. When they see that verified badge within this specific ecosystem, they know they aren't just looking at a profile, they are looking at a thoroughly vetted professional.
Okay, I see how that removes the barrier. You have the back-end plumbing saving time and the front-end vetting creating a safe environment.
But there is still a missing link.
Right. Once that trust is established, how does the platform effectively put these verified packages in front of buyers without flying everyone to a physical expo in Texas?
This is where we examine the daily sales vehicle of the platform, the Featured Outfitter Live segment.
Okay.
It carries a price tag of $1,050 for a single showcase.
Wait, $1,050 for just a 15-minute slot?
I know, it sounds steep.
That sounds incredibly steep for a digital feature.
Mm.
In an era of free TikToks, that's wild. How do they justify that cost?
Well, it seems steep if you evaluate it as a traditional digital advertisement, like a static banner ad. But what Hunt Network is engineering during those 15 minutes is a parasocial bridge.
A parasocial bridge. Break that down for us.
So it's a broadcast-style TV event that simulates the face-to-face handshake of a physical expo. These segments run twice a day, midday and evening.
And they feature a live host who guides the audience through the package.
Exactly. It's not just a slideshow. They use high-definition world maps with glowing orange destination pins.
Oh, and those blue route lines to physically orient the viewer.
That visual detail is crucial. When you ask someone to consider a trip to Kyrgyzstan or Namibia, their brain often throws up a geographic firewall. It feels vast and unknowable.
Right, the map soothes that threat response.
Yes. Following the map, they do cinematic lodge showcases, visual breakdowns of the inclusions, and host-led storytelling. The outfitter can actually join live on screen.
It honestly sounds like a hybrid of a discovery documentary, a luxury travel vlog, and a live QVC sales event.
That's incredibly accurate, and it's highly intentional. It ceases to be an advertisement. It makes the package a story, and the story an inquiry.
And it ends with a direct call to action, right?
Yes, with limited date urgency. Plus, it has massive replay value.
Right, because the platform generates social clips from these live segments. So that provides global exposure without the travel costs of a physical expo.
Suddenly, that $1,000 fee looks like a steal compared to 10 grand for a booth.
It really does.
Yeah.
They are fundamentally shifting the industry's timeline from localized seasonal visibility to a global 365-day stage.
Absolutely.
Which opens up an entirely new revenue stream that I thought was pretty brilliant. Because this daily broadcast model doesn't just benefit the outfitters.
No, it creates a highly targeted, perfectly captive environment for the peripheral brands that support the industry.
Let's talk about the brand ecosystem. Because if you are watching a 15-minute cinematic showcase of a high-stakes adventure, you are in a state of peak intent.
You're ready to buy.
Right. Think about everything a hunter needs. Specialized optics, rugged apparel, aviation logistics, taxidermy, even CRM software for the outfitters themselves.
And Hunt Network Live has built an advertising structure for these sponsors to buy into the broadcast.
With sponsor breaks starting from just $250, I saw.
Yes. For that entry point, a brand secures a spot during the live show. But the true value is the contextual integration.
Contextual integration. Meaning they weren't interrupting the broadcast, right?
Exactly. They are actively woven into the adventure the audience is already watching.
The sources gave some cool examples of this.
Yeah, imagine a high-end optics brand. Instead of a random banner ad, their gear is featured right after a breathtaking showcase of a mountain safari. The host naturally says, "Ensure your gear is the reason the hunter succeeds."
Or an aviation or taxidermy partner. They are positioned as the essential logistics behind the adventure.
Right.
So what does this all mean? It's basically like selling high-end hiking boots to someone right as they are looking at a map of Everest rather than putting a billboard on a random highway.
That is spot on. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, you realize Hunt Network Live isn't just selling hunting trips.
No.
What they are actually doing is building the primary digital real estate for the entire outdoor lifestyle market.
Wow. They are building the centralized hub where attention, verified trust, and commerce all intersect.
Yes. It's the Booking.com or Airbnb model, but highly customized for a high-risk industry.
So to kind of summarize what we've unpacked today, the outdoor industry is shifting away from the expensive, seasonal, physical expo model.
Think for it.
And it is rapidly moving toward this verified 365-day digital ecosystem. Attention is clearly moving, and the outfitters who adapt are the ones who will own the market.
It is a masterclass in using live broadcast storytelling and data sovereignty to consolidate a fragmented market.
It really is. Which leaves us with a final, slightly provocative thought for you to mull over.
I like this.
If this combination of live broadcast storytelling and a verified trust network can successfully digitize and consolidate the highly traditional high-risk hunting industry.
An industry famously reliant on handshakes.
Exactly. What other old-school high-ticket industries are currently sitting on rented land just waiting for a similar operating system to take over?
The implications are pretty vast.
Think about classic car auctions, or fine art dealerships, or even specialized medical tourism.
Wow. Yeah, medical tourism is a big one.
Right. Industries where trust and verification are paramount. Are they also just one algorithm update away from having their revenue vaporized. It's definitely
Yeah.
something to think about.